It's a MeatEater podcast.
Welcome to MeatEater Trivia, the only game show where conservation always wins. I'm your host, Spencer Neuharth, and today we're joined by Randall, Brody, Cory, Logan, Tressa, and Max. This is a 10-round quiz show with questions from MeatEater's 4 verticals, which are hunting, fishing, conservation, and cooking. And there is a prize. MeatEater will donate $500 to the conservation organization of the winner's choosing. And for the stat of the week this week, we're looking at the overtime drought that we're currently in. We haven't had a game go to overtime since December 4th, meaning we're on an 11-week overtime drought. This breaks our previous record of 10 straight weeks without overtime.
That's serious stuff.
Wow. It is.
It's been a while. The last time we actually went to overtime, the question was how many teaspoons are in 1.25 cups?
I remember
think I
that
got
Brody
that one
won.
right.
What
Yep.
was the answer, Brody? Do you still know
Is it
it?
48?
It was 60, but you got it dead nuts that day. We had an
Yeah.
$1,100 donation because we went to overtime with Randall and Brody having perfect games, and then you got the overtime question exactly.
Oh,
How did you calculate that? What was your
in his
logic?
mind like this.
I think it comes out to, is it 3 per?
I don't remember.
There's 3 teaspoons in a tablespoon, and I don't remember how many
Yeah, I
tablespoons.
forget how I
maybe.
got there.
You
But
said
there's a formula.
your kid sure likes measuring stuff at home in the kitchen,
Yeah.
so you said that gave you a big advantage.
Yep.
And it did.
Oh, yeah. He just made me a nice loaf of banana pecan bread last night.
Oh.
Did you bring it in?
Shit's great. Oh.
So 11 straight weeks with no overtime. All right, here's our infrequently asked questions segment. If you have a trivia-related question for our crew, send it to trivia@themeateater.com with the subject line IFAQ. John Schlesinger says, what kind of PhD does Dr. Randall have? And more importantly, where can we read his dissertation?
He'll tell you.
I find it hard to believe that that's an infrequently asked question, Spencer.
It is. Well,
Does PhD mean professional hunting degree?
That would be nice. That would be nice. Steve has another acronym that he likes to
So
joke.
what is it? Can't say it?
Pretty huge.
Okay.
Fill in the blank.
Uh-huh.
No, I have a PhD in history from the University of Montana. I earned that in 2015. And if you'd like to read the dissertation, you'll need to contact the University of Montana Library because it's not publicly available. I have
We could publish it on our website.
Well,
How
I have-
about that, Rand?
I have vague aspirations at some point of reworking it into something that would be for popular consumption.
You
What
can
was it
actually
about?
see Randall, and it's probably right after you got your PhD
Yeah.
on Stars in the Sky.
Oh no, that
raw
was
film.
that was
Was that prior to your PhD?
no, that was like a year or two afterwards. But I did do a MeatEater podcast, like episode 12 or something, right after, probably a month after I finished.
Okay.
Really?
Fresh doctor.
Yeah, one of the very first MeatEater episodes.
But
Way
what
back
what
when.
was your dissertation about?
Hunting in American politics and culture in the 20th century.
Oh.
Yeah, he talked about it last night in the live tour.
You should
Really?
do an addendum to that for the 21st century.
There you go.
Lots changed.
Oh,
A lot is
There'd
What's,
be a lot.
what's above a doctor? A double doctor?
no.
What can you do?
a good doctor,
I mean,
great doctor.
I don't think there's anything better than a PhD, Spencer.
Uh-huh.
But yeah, I mean, advanced degrees in the humanities, just a ticket to
Okay.
a lucrative and fulfilling life.
Brody, you're disrupting the camera shot right now. Do you want to move your hand?
And
your
that's
hand.
that's my camera too.
Yes, you were covering Randall perfectly.
That is an IFAQ from our trivia question goat, John Schlesinger. Him and Leland Hart send me more questions than probably every other listener combined.
Leland
So
Hart's he tunes in every week
Yeah,
for
he's a-
Radio Live as well.
thank you, John. Thank you, Leland. All right.
Love you guys.
We have some housekeeping. The long-awaited MeatEater tournament is on the horizon. We expect to have the 3-episode tournament out between the end of February and the beginning of March, where we'll crown a 2024 MeatEater Trivia champion. So coming soon.
Oh, that's exciting.
It's weird that it's obviously happening in March the year after. We'll act like it's like the NBA Finals during COVID, where they had to push
Right.
it back a few
Postpone
months.
it a little bit.
It would be fun to go into a bubble.
The trivia bubble.
with the gang.
Disney.
Yeah,
Yeah.
good bass fishing.
Yeah. So that is coming soon. All right. The Shelby Index for today is a 4. So our winner should get 8 correct answers.
Okay.
With that, we're on to the
I can
game
do
of
8.
trivia. Play the drop, Phil.
I need to know what I stand to win.
Everything.
How's that?
You stand to win everything.
Before we start, Spencer, I was thinking for that tournament. You know how for like football games they do like the little player profiles
Sure.
where the dudes come out and like do a
Some
little
stats.
dance or like go
Yeah,
like
yeah,
that
yeah.
with the football.
Right.
You and Phil should do some of those. For the
Okay.
tournament.
Some B-roll of you guys looking all smart. Yeah, we could pull that off. All right, question 1. The topic is ecology, and this will be multiple choice. Which state is not included in the Corn Belt, according to the USDA? Is it Nebraska, Ohio, Minnesota, or South Dakota? 3 of those states are part of the Corn Belt. 1 is not. Is it Nebraska, Ohio, Minnesota, or South Dakota? Max wasn't supposed to play trivia today, and when he found out that he was, he says, well, then you ought to throw me a bone. And I had this question written before Max was going to show up, but he's lived in Minnesota, he's lived in South Dakota. Question 1 is
that a
firmly a bone.
I
for
haven't lived in
Maxwell.
Minnesota, North Dakota,
I'm
South
sorry.
Dakota, Montana,
I assumed you spent some time in Minnesota.
But your
a
grandma's
couple
place is in.
right on the Red River.
Yeah, I knew that.
Yeah.
Could this
Yeah,
be a
lots
That's
of
from the
time.
game you on trivia.
There you go.
I wonder if this
Which-
is a bone for anybody from Ohio.
Yeah. Is there anyone from Ohio here?
I don't know.
Who can
Logan
say?
must be
I guess
you.
we'll never know.
No,
Which state is
there's a
not
lot of corn in Ohio.
included in the Corn Belt,
Just so you know.
according to the USDA? Nebraska, Ohio, Minnesota, or South Dakota? Is everybody ready?
No, are we?
Max was quick to answer. You feel good about your answer, Max?
Yeah.
How
Brody,
about you,
Brody,
Randall?
let me see your answer.
I actually don't feel great about my answer.
Okay.
That's a good question.
Again, 3 of these states are part of what the USDA defines as the Corn Belt. 1 of them is not. Nebraska, Ohio, Minnesota, South Dakota. Go ahead and reveal your answers. We have Tressa saying Nebraska. Cory says Ohio. Randall says Ohio. Logan says Minnesota. Max says Ohio. Brody crossed out Minnesota and wrote down South Dakota. So we have every answer, I think, represented in here today.
We got one correct answer.
The
Hold my
correct
hand.
answer is South Dakota.
Brody, what?
Only Brody
How?
got that one.
So I don't know
right.
if you guys caught
How?
this, but Max made a funny little joke and asked to see Brody's answer, which is normally what Brody does to Max. And then after Brody showed Max's answer,
Switches it.
I don't know what face Max made, but Brody, you changed your answer after that.
But I didn't think he was going to write down South Dakota.
In 2006, the USDA declared the Corn Belt to be a 6-state region consisting of Illinois, Indiana, Iowa, Minnesota, Nebraska, and Ohio. Encyclopedia Britannica disagrees slightly, saying Ohio isn't in the Corn Belt, but Kansas is. Neither place includes South Dakota in the Corn Belt, though.
I was thinking of the Encyclopedia Britannica.
You knew that
Corn
definition.
Belt.
Well, isn't the states like
What are
South
we?
Dakota?
What are we
Like-
doing?
Yeah, it's not
I-
much of
I
a belt.
just-
That's
drew
where
a little-
South Dakota is. That's
Yeah,
a nice
South
little
Dakota's right
drawing.
here.
Mhm.
Ohio's way
Way over
frick
there.
here?
Uh-huh. It's like a contiguous region, the Corn Belt, that they define. And then I was like,
I'm like,
I was also surprised about their definition. So I looked at like what states produce the most corn, and Minnesota actually produces twice as much corn as South Dakota. So South Dakota not part of the Corn Belt.
wow, if I was putting money on that, I would not put money on South Dakota.
Question 2.
That's why you got the question wrong.
Yeah,
South Dakota has the Corn Palace.
I know.
They
Yeah,
do.
that's
Rachel.
what's so counterintuitive.
That's like in the middle of the Corn Belt of South Dakota, though. You start getting west of there, and you lose all that darn corn.
You do. It's East River and West River, but still.
Question
corn.
2.
Go
The
on.
topic is fishing. This next great question is via Jacob Arnold.
There
Fun
goes, there goes
episode
my
already.
bone. Shit.
Merriam-Webster defines this 7-letter word as, quote, a water passage where the tide meets a river current. Randall and Brody, already have their answers. Merriam-Webster defines this 7-letter word as a water passage where the tide meets a river current. This is question 2.
If there's another 7-letter word, I'm not going to think about it.
Brody, how'd you end up choosing South Dakota for not being part of the Corn Belt?
Honestly, man, it's all based on driving across the country.
Okay.
Like, that's like, yeah, I don't remember seeing
other
a whole
states
lot of corn in South
seem like
Dakota.
they're corn. Merriam-Webster defines this 7-letter word as a water passage where the tide meets a river current.
Yeah, I remember seeing a lot of corn growing up. You know,
In Ohio.
Obviously, like I can visualize that, but I just never thought of being included in the Corn Belt. Perhaps I underappreciated our contribution to the nation.
I'd say Ohio has some of the best corn because they also have a lot of timber. And it's like, I think I've said this before about Ohio, but they've got the right amount of rolling hills to make
thank
that,
you. Yeah, I
that
appreciate
nice
that.
topography for hunting white-tailed deer.
Yeah.
Merriam-Webster defines this 7-letter word as a water passage where the tide meets a river current. Anyone besides Brody and Randall confident?
No.
I didn't say I was confident.
Okay, but you have an answer that's
7
He's
letters.
got it. Come on. He's just playing coy.
You never know.
Do our other
Didn't we have a
players?
similar question to this? Like a few
Well, I
weeks
do a
ago?
lot of things where I say,
I know what you're talking
You know,
about.
Yeah,
but
I was-
Wasn't it like a
letter word.
7-letter and it was
It was
like
where
two
two
waters
rivers. It was
touching?
where two rivers meet, and it was a
Ah.
Greek letter.
Yeah,
oh,
Delta.
that was Delta.
Oh,
Yeah.
Mm.
So it's
okay.
not Delta.
Oh, okay.
That was from a Jabroni
Thank you.
episode recently.
Yeah, sure.
No,
was.
that's salt water.
Brody got a good chuckle from watching
I wasn't even
Max
done with
and-
my word, and you start chuckling.
All right, does everyone else
See,
give
there's
up?
different ways to go about this. There's like thinking of the right word or starting with 7 letters and being like,
Oh yeah, feeling like.
Okay.
Well, I'm just making sure my answer
I
has
know.
7 letters.
Maxwell, do you give up?
Yeah.
Go ahead and reveal your answers. We have Tressa saying
Yeah,
whirlpool. Corey says estuary. Randall says estuary. Logan says causeway. Max without an answer. Brody says estuary. The correct answer is estuary. Estuaries are some of the most productive environments on Earth based on how much organic matter they produce. They also are enormous economic drivers through recreation and shipping. Some notable estuaries are Chesapeake Bay, San Francisco Bay, and the Hudson Bay. Question 3. The topic is natural history. This dog breed, which is named after a monk, was bred to rescue avalanche victims in the Swiss Alps. This dog breed, which is named after a monk, was bred to rescue avalanche victims in the Swiss Alps. Brody and Randall already have their whiteboards down with an answer that they seem to like. Corey has now joined them. Corey, do you have this one right?
I believe so. Got to add to it.
Corey came up with estuary on our last question, and he didn't seem to like his answer very much.
That was the same answer I had in that Greek
Oh,
where
the
the
delta.
answer was Delta. I said estuary.
Oh, so we gave you a hint.
Try again.
No.
Oh, okay.
I was very nervous though. I was like, shoot twice, aim once.
strong answer, Max. Strong
Wrong?
answer. Strong.
Strong
Oh.
answer. Brody likes Max's answer.
You know,
Question
I
3.
wrote down. All right.
Again, the topic is natural history. This dog breed, which is named after a monk, was bred to rescue avalanche victims in the Swiss Alps.
What else
Logan,
am I
do
trying
you
to
have an
say?
answer?
That's not the
I
answer.
do, but I
was
know
gonna
it's
write
wrong.
down it, but it just
So I'm trying to
Okay.
think of a better one.
Tressa, do you have an answer?
Same.
Go ahead and reveal your answers. We have Tressa saying
Bernard.
husky.
Oh,
Corey says Bernese mountain dog. Randall says St. Bernard. Logan says Buddha.
Hey.
Max and Brody say St. Bernard. They got it. The correct answer is the St. Bernard. It's believed that St. Bernards are the descendants of Roman war dogs. The breed was shaped by monks in the Swiss Alps to go on search and rescue missions and guard property. It was common for the dogs to work in teams of 2. Once they found a victim, one dog would stay with the person to provide them with warmth, and the other dog would go get help. One St. Bernard, Barry, saved 40 human lives between the years 1800 and 1812.
You're not going to get, I thought you'd have a little flavor text on the little
The barrel.
jug of booze. They
Oh, that
carry
wasn't
around.
true. I saw something that said
No.
that wasn't the case. They weren't carrying around little barrels of whiskey.
That's no fun.
I'm sure some St. Bernards have at some point, but that wasn't like their thing.
You guys remember the Big Dogs brand of shirts?
Yeah.
That
That's one of my favorite
wasn't that a
cultural
St. Bernard?
artifacts.
Those were
Cultural
everywhere.
It's a big dog's world.
Yes.
Big dog fire department.
Did you own some of those, Randall?
No, but there was a big dog outlet.
Oh.
Yeah. There's a big dog outlet. Trying to there was one in Spokane.
There was one in Gresham, Oregon that I would.
Yeah.
Ah.
I had a buddy who just had all these big dog shirts.
Yeah.
They're
Those
the
were
best.
those were cool and then incredibly uncool. And I bet like Gen Z and what's below, it's a Gen Alpha. I bet they would love big dog stuff right now. That'd be pretty
God,
sweet.
I didn't know I was going to think about big dog brand today.
I didn't either.
What a treat.
Question 4. The topic is conservation. This next great question is via Kale Carlin. What lake is Isle Royale National Park located in? What lake is Isle Royale National Park located in? Randall, very quick to answer.
Been there.
You have.
Spent some time on this lake.
Okay. Well, there's a hint.
Getting
If you
there.
know Randall's travels. What lake is Isle Royale National Park located in? We've got Cory searching the room looking for a piece of art or map
Yeah, I need a
that
map.
might help him. Are you finding anything?
No, nothing. This Nebraska map always throws me off.
Mm-hmm. Oh, you could have seen that they're part of the Corn Belt if you looked at that closely, I imagine. They got there's a John Deere logo on there. You'd have to.
That's the big giveaway.
Then you'd know that, hey, that state's part of the Corn Belt. What lake is Isle Royale National Park located in? Brody, how do you feel about your answer?
Man, I think I'm in danger of a slip up here, but we'll see.
Ooh, that's exciting.
Is everybody ready?
You know what I was thinking about? My Family
Dog
Feud.
Brand?
No, my Family Feud episode. Does that count as a trivia one?
Sure, Max.
Sweet, I
Yeah.
got 2 then.
To actually, yeah, well, you each have to divide it by how many people are on your team.
4.
4? So you got one and a quarter wins then.
Better than most.
Maybe someone from your team would donate their other quarter to you, though.
Maybe Yanni will.
Does everyone have an answer for question 4? Max.
Yeah.
You were thinking
Go
about Family
ahead
Feud instead of the
and
lake?
reveal your answers. We have Tressa
Superior.
and Cory saying Michigan. Randall says Superior. Logan says Michigan. Max says Erie. Brody crossed out Huron and wrote down Superior. The correct answer is Lake Superior. Located about 20 miles off the shore of Minnesota, Isle Royale is one of the least visited national parks in America. The only way to get there is via plane, boat, or ferry. I already have a ferry reservation for this June when I'll plan to visit the park for the first time.
Lovely.
When did you
I
go?
should have got that one.
When I was in high school.
Did you take the ferry there?
We came from the Minnesota side
Mm-hmm.
on a boat. It was a very rough. It was one of the roughest boat rides I've been on.
Oh, just like a civilian boat, or you guys took a ferry?
No, I wouldn't call it a ferry.
Like a tour boat type
Yeah, it was
thing?
kind of a tour boat. It was probably it had like an interior cabin with seating for 40 people, maybe.
Yep.
And then we backpacked from the east side of the island to the west side of the island.
What's your review of it?
Oh, super cool. Saw a lot of moose. I wish I'd fished. I didn't bring fishing equipment. The problem with that trip was that I had a one-man tent and my brother had a one-man tent. My parents had a two-man tent, and my brother forgot his tent poles. So
He's bunking with you.
So we had a three men tent.
Sure.
Combined for 4 people. So yeah, one of those fun trips.
The bad reviews I've read about Isle Royale is just a hellacious amount of mosquitoes.
Yes.
So I'm preparing myself for that.
Do you go from Duluth or Grand Marais? Or neither?
Well, I think we went from Grand Marais.
Okay.
Yeah.
Question 5. The topic is cooking. This is our listener question of the week, which was won by Jennifer Silberberg. For sending this great question, Jennifer is going to get a board game signed by the crew. If you want a chance to win our listener question of the week, then send your question to trivia@themeateater.com. What state produces 99% of America's stone crab harvest? What state produces 99% of America's stone crab harvest? Brody, very quick to answer. The rest of our players have not yet put marker to whiteboard. Brody, you know this with certainty.
You know,
I think it's
I'm 99%.
Okay, 99% sure that he knows where 99% of America's stone crab harvest comes from.
I think there's 2 different names for this crab.
Okay.
I've never heard of a stone crab.
Something else. I think
Brody's just staring lasers in the back of his head.
I mean, maybe I'm learning something. I don't know yet.
It could be wrong.
Question 5. It's cooking. After this, we'll get a scoreboard update from Phil.
this
What
Yeah, is this
state
cooking?
produces 99% of America's stone crab harvest? I don't know, we could call it fishing if you'd like, if that makes you feel better.
Makes me
Crabbing.
feel better.
Crabbing.
Crabbing.
The topic is crabbing.
I know that's a blue crab.
Yeah. I can answer that one.
I just don't know my crabs.
How do you feel about your answer,
Same.
Randall?
I don't feel great,
If
Spencer.
you got to name 5 states, do you think you'd be guaranteed to get it then?
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, how many states touch the ocean?
Is everybody ready?
Truth.
Go ahead and reveal your answers. We have Tressa saying Washington. Cory
What do you got?
says Alaska. He crossed out Maine. Randall says Alaska. Logan says New Jersey. Max says Alaska. Brody says Florida. The correct answer is Florida. Only Brody got that one right. According to the Florida Fish and Wildlife Conservation Commission, the stone crab market is one of the state's 5 biggest fisheries. Everglades City is the hub, claiming to be the stone crab capital of the world. Stone crab flavor has been described as being similar to lobster with a slightly sweeter taste.
Those are the ones where they're only allowed to pop the claw.
Yeah, and I
right?
think they it's like
yeah.
almost
One
catch and
claw.
release
You got a photo?
with those things.
Yeah.
Have you caught
Oh.
stone crabs before?
I've eaten them down there. I haven't caught any.
What's your review of stone
They're
crab
very
meat?
good. It's real good. It's not as good. Like I don't think it's as good as Dungeness, but it's good.
Phil, we're halfway through the game of
I was
trivia.
wrong, Brody.
Give us a scoreboard
I was wrong.
update.
It's looking rough out there, guys. What just happened? I'm sorry.
Sorry, I just knocked a whiteboard off the thing here.
Oh, that's fine.
Jaw
Jaw
dropping.
fell.
Lost all control.
Tressa and Logan are not on the board yet with 0 points. Cory and Max have 1 point apiece.
We're not skunked.
Randall has 3, and Brody is up by
Feels like
2 at halftime
Wow.
with a perfect game. It's hard to see a reality where anyone catches up, but stranger things have happened.
Randall came back and beat me last week, or a few days ago, didn't
No,
he?
he's
Two
talking about
question
like
lead.
one of us.
Yeah, he's not
Not
worried
like
about
No, I
Randall.
think Phil was insinuating that I can't catch
That's
up.
what I.
I definitely was.
I was gonna. I
don't feel
had
safe.
a feeling on that last one that it was coming from the Atlantic, and I was thinking Florida, but I just didn't have enough
Yeah.
courage of conviction to go with
Okay.
Florida.
Looking unlikely that we'll have overtime again this week.
Hey, if he put 2 points on me in the first 5, why can't I put 2 on him in the second?
Exactly.
Well,
Yeah.
you're going to like
we're gonna go to
question
fishing
6.
questions now.
Question 6, the topic is mountain men.
There you
Outta
go.
This
There's one.
state's
Feed me, baby.
This state's capital is named after mountain man Kit Carson.
Good God.
So you tell me the state, not the capital. This state's capital is named after mountain man Kit Carson. Cory, you have this one right?
Yeah.
Randall also looks confident. Brody had a quick answer, but now
I do. I'm just
he's doing
questioning
whiteboard
myself.
osmosis where he's got it pressed against his temple. This state's capital is named after mountain man Kit Carson.
I'll make it interesting. Maybe
Okay.
I'll get it wrong.
All right. Did you talk about Kit Carson in the recent audiobook?
A little bit.
What do we have to say about Kit Carson without giving it away?
He ran away from an apprenticeship as a saddle maker.
Oh, did that get him in trouble?
I don't know that anything came of it, but
Okay.
it's a no-no.
Mm.
It's a no-no.
This state's capital is named after mountain man Kit Carson.
We also have an anecdote of a field amputation conducted in a little party that Kit Carson was traveling with.
Oh.
Yep.
Is everybody ready?
It's one of multiple field amputations covered in MeatEater American
It's
History
either the
Volume
state
2.
he's from or the state he spent most
I don't
time
remember
in.
if it was Kit Carson, but I previously had a trivia question about a mountain man's last quote. And it may have been Kit Carson on his deathbed. He said something like, "I wish I just had time for one last bowl of chili."
I think that's supposed to be Kit
Yeah.
Carson. I don't know if it's true. I remember Steve talking about that.
Is everybody ready? Go ahead and reveal your answers. We have Tressa and Cory and Randall saying Nevada. Logan says Nebraska. Max says Idaho. Brody says Nevada. The correct answer is Nevada.
Reno.
Yay.
Try
Nevada,
again.
Nebraska, same thing.
Carson
right,
City.
Logan?
Carson
Oh,
City.
there it is.
Yeah.
See, that's what I wouldn't have got it.
I was
thought
gonna write down Idaho, and I was like, Boise. There's no way.
Reno.
John Fremont named the Carson River after Kit Carson, who was a scout for Fremont's expedition through the area. The city's population boomed when gold was discovered nearby in the 1850s, but slowed down after the mines dried up. Carson City has 58,000 people, making it the third smallest state capital after Pierce, South Dakota, and Juneau, Alaska.
How much time does Shelby have to answer these questions?
If she doesn't know it, she moves on pretty quickly. So we wrap up a trivia test run in probably 5 minutes. It goes quick. Question 7. The topic is conservation. North America's most common rat is named after what Nordic country?
What?
Max, you should know this.
Why? Why should Max know this?
I'll tell you later.
Okay.
I'm on the edge of my seat.
North America's most common rat is named after what Nordic country? Is Maxwell Nordic? Is that
Does he have pet rats?
I'll tell you later. Why you should
okay?
know it.
I think he's just calling me a rat.
Randall, you know this one?
I do.
Brody, you know this one.
Yes.
North America's most common rat is named after what Nordic country? We've got Max writing down as many Nordic countries as he can come up with. Not a bad strategy. Now our other players are doing the same.
Yeah, Max, cover your board up. Jeez.
Hey, don't you want to beat Logan?
It should be pretty easy at this point.
North America's most common rat is named after what Nordic country? This is question 7,
We got 3 of
and the
them.
topic is conservation. Max declared he has 3 Nordic countries written
I'm
down.
trying to think why I should know this.
I think Brody's just trying to mess with you.
Oh,
He's going to say that every time.
Where are your ancestors from?
Nowhere near there.
Yeah, this is
Nowhere
puzzling.
that has rats. Corey, are you writing down Nordic countries?
Yeah, I got 4.
Okay.
Oh, I got
Pretty
3.
smart.
Tressa, is that your strategy as well?
I don't even know if this is a Nordic country.
Okay. Okay, we've
I
got
just wrote down-
Corey is outright just shown his whiteboard to Max.
Does anybody have a globe?
One of those. We'd need a globe in
We
here.
should have a globe.
Now what are you doing?
Writing down an answer.
Max has erased all 3 Nordic countries he can think
Oh,
of.
it ain't that one. It's not that one.
Logan, are you ready?
I mean, I've got a Nordic country.
Corey, are
written
you
down.
ready?
What do you need to know?
Were you writing down
Which country?
one country? North America's most common rat is
Going with
named after what Nordic country? Tressa, are you ready?
Mm-hmm.
Go ahead and reveal your answers. We have Tressa saying Poland.
the
Corey,
only one
he
who
wrote down Finland, Ireland, Sweden, and then he picked Norway.
You wrote down
Randall.
Iceland, I think.
I did.
You did
Oh,
read
Iceland. I thought he
yeah,
said
I wanted
Ireland.
him to get credit.
Sorry, yeah.
Oh,
The
you're right.
listeners
Oh,
would
you
be.
thought.
Randall
Shuckling.
says Norway. Logan says Norway. Max says Norway. Brody says Norway. They got
Oh,
it.
good.
The
Nice.
correct answer is Norway. Now, why should Max know that?
Because he's from a part of the country where there's a lot of Norwegian immigrants. I feel.
Yeah, that's true.
That's what
Yeah.
I thought you were going with
Yeah.
it.
Max is basically made of lutefisk. Is That's
Right.
what it's
I'm
called,
Norwegian.
right?
Yeah.
hmm Norway rats are also known as brown rats, sewer rats, and street rats. They arrived to North America via ships in 1775 and are now found in all 50 states. A 2-year study of New York City's rats determined that the uptown population is genetically different than the downtown population, with Midtown acting as a barrier that largely keeps them from mixing.
Wow.
How did they not get here until 1775?
I don't know. They just kept clean ships before that, I suppose.
No, come on. No way.
Question 8. The topic is fishing. Oh, speaking of the devil, this next great question is via Leland Hart.
Hey.
What was the name of the Wheeler Playmate 38 boat from Gilligan's Island?
Wow. Really taking us back here.
What was the name of the Wheeler Playmate
boy.
38 boat from Gilligan's Island?
That was Brody's proudest whiteboard slam so far.
Okay. Randall also seems to know it, though. How confident are you, Randall?
Very
Phil,
confident.
can you play the song after we're done?
For copyright reasons, no. But I did pull a clip from this theme song for last week's episode of Cal's Week in Review. Check it out. on the Cal and the Wild
step
podcast.
right up and you hear a tale.
Keep going.
I don't know.
I don't
what
want
it's
to violate
at.
any copyright laws.
How much of Gilligan's Island have you seen, Brody?
I mean, when I was a little kid, it was like, you don't remember back when there was only 3 channels. to
You're right, I
watch,
do
and,
not remember
that.
that.
was the show that was on after school.
But I remember Nick at Night. I watched a lot of Dick Van Dyke.
Yeah, this was pre-Nick at Night, buddy.
I also loved the Monkees.
Pre-Nick at Night.
Oh, the monkeys, yeah.
I've recently gotten served some content on Instagram showing just how stoned the Monkees were when they were filming that. It's like so obvious now when you watch a clip and you see one of the Monkees is clearly very high while they were filming that show. You know what surprises me about Gilligan's Island when I was researching this question? Only had 3 seasons. That seems like a show to me that had 20 seasons.
When you asked Brody, how much of Gilligan's Island have you seen? I thought even if I could name every episode I've watched, I'd have no idea how much of Gilligan's Island I've seen because it just exists.
Just washed over you.
Yeah.
Yeah. Did you watch a lot of Gilligan's Island, Randall?
Yeah, I used to watch a lot of Nick at Night.
What did you like from Nick at Night?
I'm not even going to remember what was on.
I like Mary Tyler Moore because it was Minneapolis. She was in.
Sure. I watched a lot of I Dream of Jeannie. That was big.
Oh, yeah.
Brady Bunch.
Lucy.
Can we talk more about this boat? Did the
What
boat
was-
fail them, and is
It's
that why
the
they're stuck
boat.
on the island?
What
Well,
was
if you knew the song, you'd know what happened.
Well,
The,
true.
the skipper had a boat.
and they were supposed to be on what, a 3-hour tour?
3-hour
What color was the
tour.
And then what happens? There's a storm, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
And
And
they're
for
stuck
some
on an
reason, this
island.
tropical island they wash up on, it has a lot of monkeys, right? Or am I thinking of a different show?
I don't remember
Wizard of
monkeys
Oz.
playing a
No,
big
I
role.
I feel like
in
they're
that
always
show.
getting harassed by
There's
monkeys.
Lord Howell, right? Who's the
Yeah.
aristocratic character?
Ginger and the
Mary
doctor,
Ann.
Mary Ann,
or was it
Skipper.
the professor?
The professor.
The professor and Mary Ann.
Yeah, there's if you
Here.
on Love on the
Gilligan's
Spectrum. I think one of the seasons of Love on the Spectrum,
Yeah,
one
I've
of the
never seen this
guys
show.
loves Gilligan's Island. And he goes to a Comic-Con convention to meet the actress who played Mary Ann from and it's I mean, I'm surprised she's alive, but it looks great.
We need to bring back TV theme songs where they just explain the entire premise of the show.
It's pretty convenient.
It's very
You
convenient.
can tune in at any time then and know what's going on. I'm almost certain that like gorillas were weirdly on that island.
You're probably right. I mean,
Again, the question is question 8. The topic
Where
is
were they?
fishing. What was the name of the Wheeler Playmate 38 boat from Gilligan's Island? Is everybody ready? Go ahead and reveal your answers. We have Tressa saying Aloha. Cory says SS Susie. Randall says SS Minnow. Logan says Little Skipper.
it was
Max-
Little Buddy, Logan.
Oh,
Max
buddy.
says Little G. Brody says SS Minnow. The correct answer is the SS Minnow. The original owner of the 38-foot boat called it the Blue Jacket, but the show renamed it after TV producer Newton Minnow. The Wheeler Playmate is the same model that Ernest Hemingway owned, which he equipped with outriggers for fishing. On that very boat, he caught one of his biggest tuna and wrote The Old Man in the Sea.
What does SS mean? In like
Isn't it like service ship or ship?
service?
Captain Randall.
And it technically wasn't an SS. It should have been like an MT motor. I don't remember.
This is Google AI, so take it with a grain of salt. But it says it's an acronym for screw steamer.
Maybe it was not an SS. Like that's designated.
It would have
for
been
big
an
old ships.
FB, maybe fishing vessel.
Yeah, it was
or
something
like
else.
that.
Yeah, it says a single screw steamship.
Okay, Phil, we have 2 questions left. Give us a scoreboard update.
Yeah, let's take a look.
Oh, I thought that was the end.
Everyone's on the board now. Tressa and Logan have 1 point.
Brody.
Max has 2. Corey has 3. Randall has 6.
Corey.
And still 2 points ahead is Brody Henderson with 8 points and a perfect game.
Wow.
Hot dog.
Question 9.
Ooh,
the
2 to
topic
go.
is cooking.
Still in it, Randall.
McCormick describes this 6-letter spice as, quote, sweet, peppery, and a bit floral with a hint of citrus. McCormick describes this 6-letter spice as sweet, peppery, and a bit floral with a hint of citrus. Phil, I like the Brady Bunch movie a lot more than I liked the Brady Bunch
Oh
TV
yeah,
show.
well I mean that was a great idea because the Brady Bunch movie was just like it's pretty much a spoof of the Brady Bunch because it was the Brady Bunch living in modern times, if I'm correct. So it was like all of their TV sitcom mannerisms in the real world.
And I think
that
they
was
went
the
to
joke.
Hawaii, and there was like a cursed.
That was a real episode of the Brady Bunch.
Oh.
the Hawaii episode with the cursed, like tiki statue or whatever the hell it was.
Got all my Nick at Night mixed up. Again, we're on question 9. Brody, who has the perfect game going, does not yet have an answer.
I'm struggling on this one.
McCormick describes this 6-letter spice as sweet, peppery, and a bit floral with a hint of citrus.
Is this one that everyone has in their cupboard, Spencer?
I don't know. I do not know. Does anybody feel good about their answer? Corey?
No.
No.
Not yet.
McCormick describes this 6-letter spice as sweet, peppery, and a bit floral with a hint of citrus.
Citrus.
This may be a 0%er
Lemon
and ruin Brody's perfect game.
I already tried that. More than 6
Same.
letters.
Oh, is it?
All right.
Same.
This is question 9.
Real stumper here. Jeez.
But if Randall could get this right and Brody get it wrong, we'd have a game going into the final question. Brody now has an answer. Brody, do you like your answer?
It's got 6 letters.
Okay. McCormick describes this 6-letter spice as sweet, peppery, and a bit floral with a hint of citrus. Randall, do you have an answer?
Yeah, I do. I don't really know. You can get it in a spice. Yeah, I'm not
Okay.
sure if I believe this.
Keep going.
Long story short, I'm not sure if this is a spice.
Okay, do our other
It falls
players
into
give
that
up?
category.
No, but yeah.
Same.
Go ahead and reveal your answers.
Yeah.
We have Tressa saying mesquite.
Ooh,
Corey
ginger. That's a
without an answer. Randall says ginger.
I
Logan
like that
says
one, Randall.
cayenne. Max without an answer. Brody says garlic. The correct answer is ginger.
All right.
Randall got that one right.
Did
ginger.
you deliberately put
That's
that
how-
right
how-
after
how
the
fitting.
Gilligan's Island?
But it was very
question?
ironic that somebody said ginger was one of the characters in our
Also,
previous
Randall's the
question.
only one who got it right.
Yes.
Anyway, sorry.
Oh, ginger.
Ginger, got it? Yeah. Uh-huh.
Ginger is a common ingredient in Indian and Caribbean cuisine. The ground product comes from the underground stem of a plant that grows 2 to 4 feet tall. Wild ginger is found in 34 states, according to the USDA. It can be identified by its heart-shaped leaves and brown flowers that grow at ground level. All right, here's a correct answer review so far. 1 was South Dakota. 2, estuary. 3, St. Bernard. 4, Lake Superior. 5, Florida. 6, Nevada. 7, Norway. 8, SS Minnow. 9, Ginger. Phil, let's get one final scoreboard update before we do question 10.
Yeah, well, like you already said, it's still a game now. Brody has 8 points. Randall has 7.
Should have had
Question 10.
Apologize. Apologize for your earlier
Question 10.
skepticism.
The
I'm sorry,
topic is hunting. This brand debuted their 7-foot Sasquatch archery target at the 2017 ATA show.
This question is dumb, Spencer.
This brand debuted
I'm
their
excited now.
7-foot Sasquatch archery target at the 2017 ATA show. Brody, our leader, does not yet have an answer, but neither does Randall, who is 1 point behind. Cory, do you think you have this one right?
50-50.
Okay.
Just throwing it out there.
This brand debuted their 7-foot Sasquatch archery target at the 2017 ATA show. If Randall could get this right and Brody get this wrong, we would snap our overtime drought. But it looks like right now that Randall is not going to get it right, and neither will Brody. Max, you like your answer?
It's the only one I could think of.
Okay. Did you put down Dave Smith decoys?
No. I did not.
This brand debuted their 7-foot Sasquatch archery target at the 2017 ATA show.
Cory, let me see what you have.
Well, I don't know. I don't want to go there.
Randall, do you have an answer down, Randall?
No,
he
Oh,
doesn't.
Brody out.
It's just not my forte here.
Okay. Brody
Good.
now has an answer. Brody, do you like your answer?
No,
Max, do you like his
it's
answer?
an answer.
Same one as mine.
Oh, wow. All right.
Oh man, I kind of want to show you what I got now.
I'm real close.
I want to see what
No,
Randall
well,
has.
there's maybe one
You
letter.
can't show it.
Yeah. No, let's see
No,
if
I
this
know,
overtime
I know.
happens naturally.
Mm-hmm.
How many
This
points do we
brand-
get if we get it right and they get it wrong?
Still one.
5 points?
This brand debuted their 7-foot Sasquatch archery target at the 2017 ATA show. Is everybody ready?
Brody gave me a half a point last game
Oh,
I
yeah.
played.
Go ahead and reveal your answers. We have Tressa saying Caldwell. Cory says Delta. Randall says Jack Lynx. Logan says Reinhardt.
There, go over.
Max says Block. Brody says Block. We have a correct answer. It's Reinhardt. Logan got it right.
Logan.
And that makes Brody our
Would have
winner.
never gotten that.
Yeah.
No
I've never even
chance.
heard that before.
The Sasquatch stands 7 feet tall, weighs 250 pounds, and costs $4,300. It's by far the biggest and most expensive 3D target that Reinhardt sells. Other unique offerings from them include a mosquito target, velociraptor target, African lion target, black cobra target, and alligator target. That makes Brody our winner with 8 correct answers. He got the Shelby Index right on the nose. Brody, where is the $500 from MeatEater going to go?
Well, you boys are headed to the National Wild Turkey Federation shindig, so let's donate it to those guys.
Okay, $500 going to NWTF via Brody and MeatEater. You got some turkey hunts planned this year, Brody?
Well, I mean, I'm definitely gonna go. I haven't ironed out any details. I got 2 kids that can hunt now, man. It's like,
It's fun watching them go.
They both got dibs
hunt.
on pulling the trigger over you?
mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's why
One
I'm
of
not a
them will
dad.
be his first,
Don't
real
sound so
hunt.
excited about
That's
it.
why me and Randall aren't dads. We're too
No,
selfish.
it's just like a lot, man. You're like, like everybody in Montana, everyone's like, I'm gonna fill all 5 of my tags this year or whatever. It's like, good luck, man. Like, I don't even know if I'm gonna get to hunt
Do they shoot 20s or 12s?
20s. I don't even shoot a 12 at
No.
turkeys anymore. There's no need, man.
No, there's no need, but
Brody sending $500 to NWTF so his boys can kill all them turkeys.
That's
this
right.
spring. Join us
Nicely
next
done.
week for more MeatEater Trivia, the only game show where conservation always wins.
Thanks, Spencer.
Good one.
Yeah, Spencer from South Dakota, he's the host. Using those smooth, mellow tones, he lays them questions down. And he likes taking those 2- and 3-year-old bucks. And he's an avid amateur rock hound.